Hey y'all, I got something I'm a little excited to show you today, and other Kubota BX owners may go, ooh, and other tractor owners may go, what's the big deal? I don't see it. But that is the problems that folks have trying to fill the fuel can of their Kubota BX. Talking about the proximity between the grab handle and the top of the fuel fill. Grab handle's in a great position as you're sitting in the operator seat and driving around, looking over the side, looking in front. Nice way to keep yourself steady. And the fuel fill being that close to it is quite problematic, especially with the safety cans that they have now. You tear your rotator cuff or strain your arm trying to hold the can up in just the right position to get the fuel to flow. It takes forever. Or you go down the road of getting a transfer pump and hope that the wires are long enough and you got enough hands to get everything held in, and the transfer pump isn't so strong that it spews diesel fuel everywhere while you're trying to get it in and out. So took a little bit of time to put together a structure and purchased a different kind of fuel can that I'm hoping will make things a little bit better. So let me take you out there and show you what we did. So I'll start with what I bought. This is the fuel can that I got off of Amazon, a Black Friday deal. It was relatively inexpensive. Yes, it is red. That's why I went out and got the diesel only sticker. But none of the diesel cans that I found it had these kinds of features on it. So what I really wanted was just an easy way to fill my BX, not necessarily focus on getting something of the right color. But you can see it's got a handy pump that you can use. You squeeze that and generates positive flow. Fuel comes out. Bob's your uncle. And then down there you've got a ball valve coming out of the tank, and then at the end of the hose you have another ball valve. So when you go to fill the fuel tank up, you can take the hose off, turning both valves, and you don't have fuel spilling back out of your hose. You don't have fuel coming out of your tank. It does have a bleeder valve up here, so as you're fueling, you're not creating a vacuum inside the can. And it does work really well. Only problem being, in this particular configuration, you'll have to squeeze that handle, I don't know, a couple hundred times to fill up a 6-gallon tank. And I didn't want to do that. But it is gravity fed. So if you get it up higher than whatever it is that you're fueling, well, then squeeze the pump a couple times to establish positive flow, let the pump go, and fuel just continues to flow. And when you get your tank filled up, this will be sitting on top of this little switch, and when you get it filled up, you just pop that button, your handle drops down, and that turns everything off. So it's a nice clean system if you can get it up high enough to be above the fuel tank. And while back in the day I may not have worried too much about just hoisting that up on a cart or table, these days I'm looking for something a little bit easier. So let me show you what I built. So this looks a little ominous or odd, but I was able to piece it together with mostly stuff I had laying around the yard. I do a lot of stuff with pallets. In fact, I may even show y'all the shed I built out of pallets not too long ago. But was able to make a frame out of 3 pallets. The back one there that's holding the 4x4s, just needed to make sure that that had 2x4 beams in it so that the 4x4s could slide down in there. Fastened those together, directly into the beams there on both sides, before the 4x4 was in place, but it's just screwed into the beams on both sides, and then fastened the 4x4 in with some long screws again on both sides, so that framing is nice and tight. Put an eye bolt up top with a snatch block, some bracing running down to the floor there on both sides, just to provide a little extra stability, since that can full of fuel is a little over 100 pounds. Just wanted to make sure that everything would stay put. I did put a pallet on the bottom. You wouldn't have to do that if this was sitting on a concrete floor or something like that. But given that this is out on the ground, I figured it wouldn't hurt just to make sure that it was a little more flat and stable. And then I found a inexpensive boat winch on Amazon. It was only 20 bucks for a 600-pound winch. And that running up to the snatch block and down should allow me to hoist up that can incredibly easily. And then I've got a frame over here, and using the actual pallet slats over here, where once the fuel can is up high enough, I just slide a couple of shelving boards under it, let it back down on it, and everything is good to go. So give me a second and I'll get the can in here and I'll show you what that actually looks like. Alright, so we can pretend I just got back from filling this can up. This is a 15-gallon tank, which is also nice, just from the perspective I don't have to have a bunch of extra cans sitting around. Everything else I've got around here is gas, and so I've got all sorts of gas cans lying around. I didn't want a whole bunch of extra diesel mixed in with it. So this lets me just have one. I've got 3 fill-ups with my tank, and it just makes everything so much simpler. So work the tank up into lift. I did just get a little fencing J-hook that I wrap around the handle, just to kind of spread the weight of it a little bit and make it so that the cable isn't cutting into the handle. Wrap that around like so. Come back on my winch. Pull it up to the top. Grab my 2 boards. Slide them under and let it back down. I do keep a little bit of tension just so that it doesn't try to jump off on me. And then put your hose back on. I'll show you all one thing. So, BX tank, the top of the fill tank, is right at 33 inches off the ground in here. And this is sitting an easy 34 inches off the ground. So gravity should still work. Just to show you how you would do, I don't have to fill this all the way up. It's got a decent amount in it already, but just to kind of give you a preview. Get that over there. Open up my valves. Squeeze the handle a few times. Oh, forgot to undo my bleeder valve. That would help. Fortunately, I got that thing on there tight. There we go. Let's try this again. How's the fuel flow there? You can probably hear it pulling air through there. Then you just sit here and hold it till your tank's full. And that's full. Pop the little button out. Let it stop dripping. And I just stuff it down in here just to make it easier for next time. And if you want to make sure that there's no leaks or anything, you just turn your valves back off. And you're good to go. Of course, once it's empty, it's easy to just pop down. You don't have to roll it all the way down when you go to fill it back up. But this has made it a heck of a lot easier for me anyways. So hopefully it helps some of you BX owners to fill up your tank a little bit easier. This was, I think, $115. I think I got it, and again, that was $20. So all told, that was the full cost of what I put into this here thing. So, see you on the next go round.